Hello there, everybody! Welcome to my first deck profile that I am doing. I decided, like I said in my last video, that I was going to be changing this up to a more Yu-Gi-Oh type of stuff. And I thought I'd go over one of the deck profiles that I use, where I do ThunderDragon Dragon Links. So, basically, we'll get right on into it. First things first. I do 3 Ash Blossoms, because you just gotta have the 3 Ash Blossoms, in all fairness. Stops people from searching for cards, and if you notice, through a lot of decks, they're always searching for cards to add from their deck to hand. And it can even stop special summons from a deck, or send a card from deck to graveyard. Which, that is the majority of what most Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks do anyways. And then second, I've got Batteryman Solars. That's for the ThunderDragon engine, basically. So, it can help with if you decide to just, like, normal summon this. Because when it is normal or special summon, you can send 1 Thunder Monster from your deck to graveyard. If a Thunder Monster is normal or special summon, while this monster is on the field, you can special summon 1 Battering Man token. And you can target 1 Battering Man effect monster you control or in the graveyard. This card's name to become that monster until the end phase. So you can only use each effect per turn. For me, the normal summon or special summon is honestly the best, because if you bring that out, you can go dumping, like, say, ThunderDragon Hawk, ThunderDragon Dark, or even ThunderDragon, what's it called? The third one that I use. Hang on a second, people. It's been a while since I've seen the name. ThunderDragon Roar. So you can go, like, normal summoning these, dump it, and then if you got a Bestial in your hand, banish the monster and activate its banished effect. And then that'll get you up to like ThunderDragon Colossus or ThunderDragon Titan even faster. So those are good to definitely have if you can't really normal summon anything else. And you've got those in your hand. And then we've got the 3 Black Metal Dragons and Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon. The fun part about Black Metal Dragon is if you normal summon that and then go pitching it, basically make it go to the graveyard through Link 1 into Striker Dragon. Right? Correct? Yeah, Striker Dragon. That'll help you get the Red Ice Darkness Metal Dragon a lot more faster, because with that, then you can go Chainlink 1 Striker Dragon, Chainlink 2 Black Metal Dragon. And if they've got an Ash in their hand, they can only stop Black Metal Dragon. So then you still get Boot Sector Launch to continue on your little comboing and such that you're doing to get up to Borland Dragon. Now if you're able to get it all through, because the only other way they can really stop it is if they have Imperm or Effect Veiler, stuff like that. So that's the only other way, basically. And yeah. But basically, Red Ice Darkness Metal, if you're able to get that out, well, at least to your hand, the fun part is, even if they destroy your Borland somehow, summon that can bring back Borland Dragon right from your graveyard. So that's the fun part, is if they get rid of it somehow to make it go to the graveyard, you can use this to bring back the Borland Dragon, or even any other, like, dragon monsters that you have that you were using. And sometimes, even before even Borload was banned, this could bring back Borload Savage. So yeah. And then we've got White Dragon and Black Dragon. Those are pretty spoken for. You use either one's effect and bring it out, and then link off. Activate effect to grab the other one. Summon it by banishing the other one. All of that, pretty much spoken for. And then we got 3 Starleech Seaforts. These are for if you have, like, say, Lubellion in your graveyard, or even have, like, say, Chaos Emperor no, not Chaos Emperor Dragon. Well, actually, 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, Chaos Emperor Dragon or Chaos Dragon Levianeer. You can use that to bring those back, or even bring back Bestial Lubellion. I usually go for Bestial Lubellion because there's no better target, really, in the graveyard by then. So, I usually go for those. Makes it a whole lot more easier. And then we've got Absolouter Dragon, and then we've got the Rocket Monsters. I usually run 2 Tracers. The Absolouter Dragon, it is used for part of the combo, because what you do is, after you do Striker Dragon, you go into Romulus, and then grab Dragon Ravine. When you get Dragon Ravine is what is used to pitch the Absolouter Dragon. Even if the Absolouter Dragon is in your hand, you pitch it and pinch another monster, basically, that you really don't need. Like, you could even pitch, for instance, the Bestial Lubellion, and then use Starleech Seafort and the Graveyard's effect to grab it. Makes it a lot more easier to get Bestial Lubellion to your hand, and use its effects and pop off with that. But that's what I use it for. And then Absolouter Dragon usually gets me a Tracer. If I've already got Tracer in my hand, I usually just grab another Tracer, because you don't want to, like, use up these 2 very quickly. You want to be able to go special summoning them out by popping the Boot Sector launch. Now, it ain't, like, super bad, because I'm pretty sure you can summon both Rocket Tracers and then use one of their effects to bop the Boot Sector launch, because you can special summon up to 2, and then bring out Rocket Caliber or Rocket Recharger, which actually will help the combo a lot more, because then you have the other Rocket Tracer on the field. You go and do the whole Link 1 into Guardian Pisty, and then Link 3 into Triple Burst, and then summon back one of the other Rocket Monsters or whatever card. And then Link 5, use Borland to go and target the Rocket Tracer and negate its effect, and then summon back a Rocket Monster. And then you can Synchro Summon into Red Dragon Archfiend, per se. Or, usually by that time, before Borload was banned, I would just Synchro Summon into Borload. But either that, or grab Heretic, Heavenly Spheres, or just go into IP. So that's how you'd usually do those, and it would definitely help a lot. Next, we've got Chaos Dragon Levianeer and Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon. Levianeer, it's mainly just good for, like, say, banishing the ThunderDragons, as well as, like, popping monsters, or you could use its other effects where you shuffle one random card from your opponent's hand into the deck. I don't use that one mainly because it's honestly, like, not the best. It's kind of like a gambling type of thing where you're like, oh, am I gonna hit a card that they really need, or am I gonna shuffle a card that they didn't need and then they draw into a card that they would need? Either that, or basically only light, where you special summon one monster from your graveyard in defense position. That one I could see being used more, though, because then you can special summon back a monster. Like, per se, for instance, say Bestial Lubellion gets destroyed somehow while it's on your field, use it to summon back, or even just use, like, swap it out with Chaos Dragon Levianeer, whichever, after you pop 2 cards and whatnot. And then Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon, it's usually used just for, like, burn damage, because like its effect says here, what you gotta do is banish one light and one dark monster from your graveyard, and you can only special summon him once per turn this way. Once per turn, you can pay half your life points, send out as many cards as possible to the graveyard, except from the extra monster zone, and if you do, send cards from your opponent controls to the graveyard, up to the number of cards sent to the graveyard. Then inflict 300 damage for each card sent to the graveyard. By this card's effect, if this face-up special summon card leaves the field, return it to the bottom of the deck. So, the fun part about that card, though, is, like, you can just go and do it as a game ender, basically. Because, say your opponent's really low on life points, but they've got a heavy-hitting card on the field that you cannot get over. For instance, when I was playing against a Labyrinth deck, something like a similar Labyrinth deck, this person only had 200 life points left. And if I would have been able to get this card out, because I would have been able to search it off of Bestial Magnamut's effect, and I would have been able to win the duel by using this effect. But I didn't have this card at the time, and I was still trying to get it after Chapter 1, Battles of Legend Chapter 1 came out. And I was like, I really need this card, because I can think of so many times when I would be using this effect. And if I would have had it, I would have won that duel. So it's a good just-in-case type of card, because it's pretty similar to Hot Red Dragon Archfiend's effect. Pop all monsters and deal that much life points to your opponent, except you gotta pay half your life points. Next is Samsara Dragon. That card I use in case I need to get a dragon monster from, like, it's one of the other, like, pitches I would do, say, for Dragon Ravine, or another card effect that would say, send one card to the graveyard, etc. But I would use this guy to basically go and grab back, say, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, so I can go summon back, like, say, Borland Dragon, or even other monsters. I could also use this card to grab back Bestial Magnamut. I could even grab back Bestial Lubellion. Those type of cards. Bestial Druid Swarm is the same way, too. I can use it to go and grab all of that. And then we got the Bestial monsters. I do at least 2 Druid Swarms, and I do 2 Lubellions. The reason for that is because with the Lubellions, say they banish one of them somehow. At least I've got another one in the deck I can go off with using Magnamut's effect. And with Branded Regain and Branded Beast, I have those in my deck too. It's to bring back mainly either Magnamut, so I can go and search another Lubellion if I need it, or Druid Swarm, or Baldrake. Mainly the Druid Swarms, because then I can summon back the Druid Swarms, and it'll put them at the, do I want to attack into that, and have them pop one of my monsters. Either that, or I bring it back, and then I just go, like, into my turn, link it off, and pop one monster anyways. But that's what I mainly do. Either that, or I switch it out with the Lubellion and get, like, say, Branded Beast out. And then, with Branded Beast, with both of them on the field, bringing forward Bestial Druid Swarm, that'll help with, basically, a double pop. Where I use Branded Beast to pop Bestial Druid Swarm, and then Bestial Druid Swarm to pop another monster. Either that, or I believe with Branded Beast's effect, I pop one card on the field. I believe that's correct. Yeah. Target one card my opponent controls, and basically destroy it. Next, I have Noctivision Dragon. That card's good for helping with the linking, because most of the link monsters you're bringing out in this are dark link monsters. And basically, what its effect is, if a dark dragon monster is special summoned to your field, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then if this card is sent to the graveyard as link material, you can draw 1 card. So that's good for both ways. Like, bring it out, and then while you're doing your combo and such, per se, because, like, say you don't have any bestials in your hand, or another way to really bring out a monster, but you have this card in your hand when you go into Striker Dragon. Do Noctivision Dragon, boom boom, go into Romulus, and Chainlink 1 Romulus effect, Chainlink 2 Noctivision Dragon's effect. And if they have Ash Blossom, that'll only stop the Noctivision. Unless they have Imperm, Effect Veiler, or anything that says to negate a face-up monster your opponent controls, then that's pretty much it. Otherwise, Noctivision Dragon is good for getting out of Ash Blossom a little easier. So you can still get the Dragon Ravine. And then I do 3 ThunderDragon Darks. The reason being is because with ThunderDragon Dark, its effect when it is banished is you can add 1 ThunderDragon card from your deck to your hand. So you can grab a multitude of ThunderDragon cards. For instance, if you really want to, ThunderDragons, ThunderDragon Roars, ThunderDragon Hawks, or even ThunderDragon Fusion. So you can go into ThunderDragon Titan, ThunderDragon Colossus, so much more easier. And then you've got just the regular 3 ThunderDragons. You pitch 1, and then you grab 1. You don't want to grab 2, because the reason being is because if you grab 1, then say you're not able to get ThunderDragon Colossus out this turn, but you can get him out next turn. So next turn, you pitch the ThunderDragon and grab another one, so you can special summon Colossus, basically. And then the ThunderDragon Roars I run at 3, because if this card is sent from if this card is banished or sent from field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 ThunderDragon monster from your deck in defense position, but return it to the hand during the end phase. That's good for getting a ThunderDragon monster out, so that way you can go into Colossus a lot more faster. Same thing with ThunderDragon Hawk. ThunderDragon Hawk, what it does is you can, if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can shuffle any number of cards from your hand into the deck, then draw the same number of cards. You can only use 1 ThunderDragon Hawk's effects per turn, but we don't use that effect. We use the top effect where it says you can discard this card, special summon 1 of your ThunderDragon monsters that is banished or in the graveyard, except ThunderDragon Hawk. So, here, I'll play out a scenario. ThunderDragon Dark is banished, and I get ThunderDragon Hawk. Then I use ThunderDragon Hawk to send, special summon, and then I can go into ThunderDragon Colossus. That easy. And then this card gets sent. You can't activate the other effect, though, sadly. But next turn, if you banish it due to a bestial monster, you can activate its effect again, grab ThunderDragon Fusion. And by that time, you might already have 3 ThunderDragon monsters, and then you can go into ThunderDragon Titan. And ThunderDragon Titan's effect is not once per turn. So that means you can activate effect in hand, activate effect in hand, activate effect in hand, activate effect in hand. Multiple times you can activate effects in hand, especially if they don't say once per turn. And then ThunderDragon Titan, boom, pop a card, pop a card, pop a card. Over and over and over. It is beautiful. Next, we go on to the spells and traps in the deck. We do 3 quick launches. The reason being, it special summons a rocket monster from your deck, but it cannot attack, also destroyed during the end phase. I can't tell you how many times this card has come in clutch for me. Because I will draw the 5 cards, I won't get a single normal summon, I won't have a way to, like, bring out Noctivision Dragon, I'll only have usually, like, Bestials, but I'll also have Quick Launch to go and summon just a Rocket Monster. Usually, sometimes I'll do Rocket Recharger. And then Rocket Caliber I just bring out later through Rocket Tracer's effect. So yeah, that has come in clutch many times for me. And then we've got the... Oop. Crap. Dropped one card. There we go. And then we've got the Boot Sector Launch and Dragon Ravine. Those are the two main cards to grab in the combo. Boot Sector Launch allows you to special summon up to 2 rocket monsters with different names from your hand in defense position. Oh, wait. So you can't do the 2 rocket tracers. I'm sorry about that, everybody. You can grab 2 different ones, but yeah. You can't do both rocket tracers. Sorry about that. I forget about stuff easily. I'm very sorry. But, also, if this card is still up because you couldn't get out Dragon Ravine, by next turn, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, special summon rocket monsters with different names from your graveyard in defense position up to the difference. So, yeah. If that card's still out, you can special summon the rocket monsters right back. Dragon Ravine, you discard 1 card, then activate 1 of the effects. It's mainly used for Dragoonity type stuff, but we don't run Dragoonity in this. So we use the second effect where we send 1 dragon monster from your deck to the graveyard. So we pitch 1 and send 1. And we always do the Absoluter Dragon unless we have it in hand. Then my choice is Lubellion or even Seaford if I already have Lubellion in the graveyard. We run the 1 of Harpy's Feather Duster to destroy all spell and traps. That's mainly against decks like, per se, Runic or Labyrinth, because they just thrive off of spells and traps. You play that, it's over for them, basically. We run the 1 by Called by the Grave. It's for if they basically do stuff like Ash Blossom and you don't have a way to really stop the Ash Blossom except for this card. Gold Sarcophagus we have in there to help with the ThunderDragon Dark effect. We use that, banish the ThunderDragon Dark to grab the ThunderDragon Hawk, and so on and so forth. Get Colossus out even faster. We do 1 Branded Beast and 1 Branded Regain. Branded Regain, you basically, whenever you banish a monster, you put it on the bottom of the deck, then draw 1 card. Branded Beast, you basically pop 1 of your branded monsters and pop 1 card your opponent controls. And Branded Regain, if your opponent normal summons or special summons a monster, you can target 1 bestial monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So, it's a good back and forth with the whole thing, because then Branded Regain effect, when your opponent normal or special summons, you can only use it once per turn though. Boom, bring back Bestial Druid Swarm. And then Branded Beast to pop the Druid Swarm, pop 1 card. And then Druid Swarm's effect to pop another card. So much beauty in doing that so many times. We run the 1 of Chaos Space, where you send a light or dark monster from your hand to graveyard, and add 1 light or dark monster that cannot be normal summon or set from the deck to your hand, with a level from 4 to 8. That'll get us basically Chaos Emperor Dragon, or Chaos Dragon Levianeer, or even the White Dragon Wyvern, or Dark Dragon Collapse Serpent. It can get us a multitude of those. ThunderDragon Fusion, we all know what it's going to be used for, to bring out ThunderDragon Titan mainly. And then also, you basically shuffle back monsters from your field, graveyard, or banish zone back into your deck. And then during the main phase, except during the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and add 1 thunder monster from your deck. So that can help basically bring out more ThunderDragon Darks using the whole effects of ThunderDragon Titan, etc., etc. Foolish Burial. What it is used for is if you don't get Dragon Ravine and you have it in your hand, so you can still send out the Absoluter Dragon. Either that, or send out Bestial Druid Swarm, or Samsara Dragon, or Starleech Seaford. And then I just run the one of triple tactic talents in case they do get to use Ash Blossom to stop my stuff. Because then I can use the triple tactic talents. If they've got a tough monster, I can take control of it and basically use it against them. Either that or draw 2 cards. Either that or look at the opponent's hand and choose 1 card from it to shuffle into the deck, but not a lot of people use that last effect. Alright, we're going to the extra deck now. I do the one of Colossus because it's limited to 1. It is basically like an ongoing Ash Blossom on the field if you do not know what Colossus does. So just imagine your opponent cannot add any cards from deck to hand because of Colossus. They can still special summon from the deck. They can do cards to be set onto the field from deck, but they cannot add any cards from deck to hand. This card does not allow it. Usually want to summon it in face-up defense mode. And then we got the ThunderDragon Titan. I've explained what that does multiple times, so yeah. Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. What it does is, so the fun part about it is it destroys as many monsters on the field with attack that is less than or equal to this card. And then you deal 500 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed. And it is for the special summon monsters. So special summon effect monsters on the field, which is quite a lot of monsters these days anyways. But the fun part about that is, with this card's effect, if you have Borland Dragon out on the field, it will not be able to destroy Borland, because Borland cannot be destroyed by card effects. And this card specifically states that it is destroying special summon effect monsters. So that won't go through. And then Bestial Dissipator. What that does is basically you can target 1 banished light or dark monster and special summon it back to the field. And then when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target 1 banished card, shuffle it into the deck. Then if you shuffled it into the deck, destroy that monster. And if you shuffled it into your opponent's deck, negate the activated effect. You can only use each effect of Bestial Dissipator once per turn. So yeah. And then what we've got next is Access Code Talker. There is definitely a reason why Access Code Talker is used, because if I can get like a Link 2 monster out, or even another Link 3 or Link 4 somehow, then I can just link it away and it gains so much stuff. Plus, with all the different types of extra deck Link monsters, right? Yep. With all the different types, you can pop quite a few cards from on your opponent's side of the field. And they can't do anything in response to it either. That's the fun part about it. And then we got Appaloosa. Of course, Appaloosa, it's an Omni Negator. That's why people use it, to Omni Negate. And it is once per chain when your opponent activates a monster effect. Quick effect, you can make this card lose exactly 800 attack, and if you do, negate the activation. So yeah. I don't usually use it all that often, in my honest opinion, because I find Access Code Talker more damaging, in my honest opinion. And then we got Dark, the Dark Charmer Gloomy. If your opponent is playing a bunch of dark monsters, this is definitely a fun card to go into. Summon back monsters, go into a Link 3 per se. Because say you don't get to do Romulus. So, Romulus, it kind of becomes useless. Get the Pisty out, and then Link 2 again into Dark. Use Dark to summon back a monster. And then go into the Link 3 into Triple Burst. Either that or just simply do it another fun way. IP Masquerena. I'm pretty sure that one's self-explanatory for a lot of people, but if you don't know about it, During your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after the effect resolves. Link summon one link monster using materials you control, including this card. You can only use this effect of IP Mask Arena once per turn. A link monster that uses this card as material cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. So you can basically go into that, and yeah. And then we got ThunderDragon. That card, it's just used for, basically, you can discard one card, then target one face-up monster on the field. You cannot special summon Link 2 or low monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. Also, destroy that targeted monster. Then, if it was a Link monster, you can special summon any number of rocket monsters with different names from your hand or graveyard, up to its Link rating. So yeah, you can go do that, pop one of their Link monsters. If it's just a normal monster, you can't do anything though, but bring out more rocket monsters, basically. And then we do Heretic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. This one I've used a lot more than Quad-Boral. The main reason is because if I have nothing to really stop somebody's card that easily, then I bring it out. Once it goes to my opponent's turn, I activate its effect. I contribute one monster, tribute itself, and then basically you bounce one card from your opponent's field back to the hand. And it's got to be a face-up card on the field too. If this card is tributed, special summon one dragon monster from your hand or deck and make its attack and defense 0. So that's where you usually can bring out like a Starleech Seaford, or even Samsara Dragon easier, or multiple other cards. And then we've got the whole combo to bring out Borland Dragon. I always keep it neat and tidy, basically, by what cards I go into, so that way I just simply flip one card over. So we first go into Striker Dragon to grab the Boot Sector launch, and then we go and link 2 into Romulus. Romulus's effect, you go and grab the Dragon Ravine. And then you activate Dragon Ravine first to pitch the Absolrouter Dragon, and then you activate Boot Sector Launch. And then Boot Sector Launch will allow you to bring out that Rocket Tracer you grabbed through Absolrouter. Tracer effect to pop the Boot Sector Launch to bring out another monster. You then link 1 and put it to where the Romulus is pointing at, which is the corner. So then you bring out Pisty, and then you use the other 2 monsters to go into the link 3 Triple Burst. And then since Pisty and Triple Burst are pointing at this zone, Pisty's effect will bring back a monster, basically. A dragon monster. And then you go into link 4 into Borland. Well, no, link 5. Blech. Either that, or you could even just simply link 5 with Romulus and Triple Burst. And then once that's link 5, Pisty's still out. Borland to make it bring back one of the rocket monsters. And then just go from that into another link monster. Usually it's best to bring out Heretic after that, basically, because then Heretic, Borland, that's a pretty solid board right then and there. And then sometimes, if you have just the right hand, you can even have ThunderDragon Colossus out. And then it's going to make it super difficult for your opponent. But that's usually like the best type of end board, is having this. And then next turn, you go through the whole combo again and bring out ThunderDragon Titan. ThunderDragon Titan's effect, you go through the whole thing of popping monsters, and yeah, it's pretty much game over at that point. Like, it's gonna be super hard to get over, that's for sure. Anywho, we're gonna go on to the side deck. I've got, like, usually just a couple empty sleeves just in case, because I like to keep my cards a little more protected. Plus, before I went re-sleeving, I just had a bunch of these double sleeved. So yeah, I never went and unsleeved them and such. But yeah, first things first, I do the Winged Dragon Raw Sphere mode. That one I don't really use. I just kind of have it just in case. Because my opponent is using a deck that doesn't allow it to just easily tribute stuff. Sphere mode is a good way to, like, tribute their monsters away and get rid of stuff. And then Dimensional Barrier, I have that. That one is way more self-explanatory and easy to explain, though. Because with Dimensional Barrier, say your opponent's using a deck that mainly does Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, or Pendulum. This deck will stop that. This card will stop those so hard just for that turn. So, for instance, Fallen of Albaz decks. They're mainly Fusion. Bring that out, that really puts a stop to Fallen of Albaz decks. The only decks it cannot stop is Link Monster decks. If they're using a bunch of Links, this card is useless and just stays in the extra deck. And then we got the 3 effect Veilers. Say my opponent's not using a lot of adding from deck to hand cards. They're using a lot of monster effects to just special summon. Switch out the 3 Ash Blossoms with the 3 effect Veilers then, because that'll actually help. Evenly matched. Say I'm not doing too good with getting cards and such, because my opponent keeps on blocking it away. Evenly match will wipe that board, so that way you can hopefully start bringing out more cards. Droll and Lockbirds. Say my opponent is still adding a bunch of cards in from deck to hand, and the Ash Blossoms ain't cutting it. Bring these out, basically. Replace the triple tactic talents with these, for instance. Or even, per se, Called By or Foolish Burial. That way you can start getting more stuff to stop your opponent from adding cards from deck to hand. And then just another ThunderDragon Titan, just in case they have a card that keeps doing away with it way too quick. I can at least put in a second one if I really want to, and replace it with, say, with a Quad Boral, or if they're not using a deck that runs all dark monsters, the Dark Charmer. Either that, or even replace, say, the Appaloosa. So yeah, and then the extra sleeves are just to keep cards protected. And if I need other cards that are good to have in the side deck, you know? But anywho, that is the deck profile for ThunderDragon Dragon Link. And if you like that, I guess like the video and drop me a subscribe. Drop me a follow and such and all that. And yeah. Hope you guys liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys in the next deck profile that I give or other Yu-Gi-Oh video. See you later. Bye.
It goes on and on and on.